Welcome viewers to today's episode on this book, Testimony of the Last Spirit. My name still remains Oby Udeze, and today we'll be discussing a wonderful topic, change in thoughts. The way a man thinks is very essential if certain miracles must be accomplished in his life. God is also interested and particular about the way a man thinks. Mentality is omnipotent in actualizing the prophecies of men. In fact, man calls his word into existence through the way he thinks. There is something called paradigm shift. Paradigm shift, according to encyclopedia, is a dramatic change in methodology or practice. It is often referred to as a major change in thinking, planning, and implementation. The thought of a man is very important because whatever God will do for a man would depend on his thoughts. Man provides the thoughts that God must depend on to accomplish new things for him. You need to come to certain echelon of thoughts before help can come from God. Our individual thoughts matters a lot. The way one sees things is different from another, and the way you see things determines what you see and then get in your life. We need to reposition mentally. The imaginative minds of men are controlled by the revelation that they are able to access. There is need for mental repositioning that will help a man take new decisions in life. The thought of a man determines his destiny. We need to have a sanctified mental imagination for new things to happen. The way a man thinks cannot be separated from what is happening around him. At every point in life, we need to have the understanding of when to shift mentally, most especially in our close walk with God. The season is a season of paradigm shift. It is a season of new discoveries, that is finding out a new way of achieving things or getting things done. God will do nothing with anyone whose mind is not sanctified. Our thought determines our word. Therefore, you need to change your word through your thoughts. Man is wrapped in his thoughts. The life of a man is in his thoughts. God is particular about the way we think. So you should allow God to alter your thoughts. Allowing God to change the way you think is far more important than living with your thoughts in visionlessness. The thought of a man represents his word. Man comes to his destiny through his thoughts. We need to frame our thoughts, and the only tool available to frame our thoughts is the word of God. The word of God is God because his word represents him. As we read and study the word of God, we get inspiration. When we are inspired, our thought is formed and framed. The reason why we need to frame our thought is because our thought is the book of our lives. When the thought of a man is framed, the following takes place. Miracle becomes inevitable. Wrong things are avoided. A lot of battles are won. Inspiration comes on a daily basis. We become one with our thoughts. Becoming one with your thought is necessary to every man because every miracle that must come to a man must come from his thoughts. There is connection between the way a man thinks and his thoughts. The mind of every man needs to be cultivated, and this can only be done through a sanctification with the word of God. Whatever is not lost eternally will make you dwell in safety. The desire of every man is to attain divinity, and it is only possible through a regenerated mind. A regenerated mind produces new eye salves. An eye salve is a spiritual mirror that men use for the accurate interpretation of their future. We need to constantly submit our mind to regeneration or spiritual rebirth to avoid spiritual blindness. There is a need to turn at some point in life. New things happen in the days of turning. We should be tired of dwelling too long in a place. Many people have stayed for a very long time in lack, limitation, sicknesses, ordinariness, failure, delay in marriage, barrenness, shame, and what have you. This is the time to turn to new encounters, new blessings, new miracles, and new change in every ramification of life. Take a new decision today about turning to avoid overstaying in a place. Man becomes awesome and wonderful when he turns. Knowing when to turn in life is a sign of greatness. When there is a demand to turn, it means that God has a new plan for you and He will give you new instructions. Do not allow yourself to be abandoned as a result of refusing to turn when necessary. The journey of man's life constantly requires turning. Therefore, learn to keep turning until you arrive at your destination. Buy new ideas. Our God is always ready to sell new ideas, but men find it difficult to buy. God is always revealing new paths and new things. Therefore, we that are alive are expected to follow the new path and new things that God is revealing. Buying new ideas simply means to acquire new impartation, to gain new relevance for the future we seek. God relates to man from his future, and if he discovers that you are not ready, he will abandon you. The earth is a place of many opportunities. Therefore, we should not limit ourselves. God is willing to sell new ideas, but the question is, are we interested in buying them? What I mean that God is ready to break barriers, boundaries, limitations, penury, lack, shame, delay, sicknesses, disappointment around us. We need to take our future. Our future is apprehended in preparation. The word of a man is in his future. Man is the guardian angel of his word. Before a man must take his future, that future needs to be discovered. The praise and glory of God is represented by men who are fearfully and wonderfully made. Man is unique image of God. The moment a man's uniqueness is identified and recognized, things will begin to happen. We have come to the end of today's episode on this book. I will see you same time next week when we will be talking about triple for your shame. Bye. Love you plenty.